GEN eSports tournament. We are on the series The Climb, and today we are joined here for the semi-finals between iBots and the nA.Phase team. This is an exciting match. We've been waiting for this. On one side we have the FaZe team, which is a really experienced team, and they have been multiple times a winner of multiple tournaments. And on the other sides we have Maximum iBots team, and they're fairly a new team, but they have showed promising performance. And here we are on the first phase of bans, and we have Ilaoi and Veigar from the first phase of ban, and on the other side we have Yorick and Syndra. So we are waiting for the last bans. While we wait for the bans, let's take a look at the bans, why they have been banned. And we see Ilaoi bans, and maybe the top laner has a good drive on him. And then we also have Veigar, which is a good choice because Veigar is really hard scaling, and on late game he'll be a pain to deal with. On the side of Maximum iBots, you see Yorick and Syndra banned, which is, in a sense, you could see that Candy Pandas, like, you know, in FaZe, the top laners, you know, the signature pick would be Yorick, because once he reaches late game, he is really a pain to deal with. He just starts split pushing, and his Yorick is clean, to be honest. And then you have Syndra, which is like one of Saber's favorite picks. So there you go, that ban is worthy. And we have the last bans of the first phase, which would be Tristana and Lucian. Lucian would be Kratos' one of signature ADC picks, and yeah, and Tristana on the other side would be the other ADC's good pick. So we are waiting on the first phase of pick. We see Sejuani coming in, and it is a Sejuani locked in. So let's see what they are gonna pick next. So we are waiting, and we do see a Sejuani in there, and think about it. And so, talking about the new iBots team, so let's take a brief look at them. They are a fairly new team, as I said, and you know, so according to them, they as I interviewed them earlier, they said that they are not on, like, they don't have like specialized lanes where they, you know, put their focuses. They're sort of a team where they depend on their team play, and as for a new team, they have been fairly successful, because this tournament does not have rank restrictions, and it is a huge thing to make it up to semifinals, and that means they do have a good team play. And let's look at it, how their team play goes on this match. So we do see a Sion picks up, and as Trundle as a counter pick for Sejuani, which is really good. Trundle specializes really well against tanks, and it would be a really good pick. So let's see what they are gonna pick. I believe it's gonna be a jungle pick, and we do see Graves coming in. Graves will be really good, as he does have a lot of dueling potential, and it would be really hard for Trundle to keep up on early game. And it is not a Graves pick, it is a Vayne pick, surprisingly, because Vayne is a good pick though, because we do have Sion on the other side, and I do expect more tanks. And surprisingly, they're gonna go for the bot lane picks, and we do see a Nami locked in, and hopefully it will be a Nami pick. So yeah, talking about the synergy between Vayne and Nami, Vayne and Nami is very hard to deal with, because, you know, Vayne can poke, and if she gets poked back, Nami would give the sustain and the movement speed from Nami, and the slow from Nami would really help Vayne, and the damage is like you wouldn't expect it, but it's really a chaotic damage from Vayne, and it would give Vayne a really strong laning phase in the early game. And then you have Swain picked up from the side of iBots, which is in the mid lane, and surprising to see they haven't picked their bot lane, but let's see, they are prioritizing their top and mid, as they could leave their, you know, I'm surprised for the fact that they're leaving their bot side open, because their next phase of ban could be a target ban for the bot side, because the other side has picked the bot side, and it could be a trouble for the side of iBots, and they would have really hard time, because they do have their bot lane open, and it's purely bot lane pick, so they can just, you know, target ban the bot lane's pick. So it might be a hard time. I think there's some sort of drafting mistake going on there, but let's see, maybe it's their plan, we don't know. They're a new team, and maybe they're filled with new strategies, and we do see a Thresh ban incoming, so maybe they have some hidden strategy. Who knows what's going on? You know, League is a place where, you know, it's not like where it was like 2015, 2016, where you had like, you know, set of strategies, League should be played like this, but it is 2019, and you can play League anyhow you want. All the champions are being picked on everything. LCK, LEC, you can see any champion picked in. Like every single champion has at least one pick. And it's a great year for League, and everything can come true. And we do see a Jax ban incoming, so it's mostly jungle bans from the side of iBots, because jungle is the only lane open up. And on the side of FaZe, they are just banning all the bot lane picks that could mess up Vayne. In a sense, they have banned Thresh. So we do see another support ban incoming, because that is sort of explainable, because in their side, their support is a huge threat. So they are banning all is good picks and any potential threat that could throw off Vayne, because a good Thresh or Taric would disrupt Vayne's entire kill potential. So we are seeing good targeted bans towards the support, and we do see Janna incoming, because Janna could be a really good pick here, because Sejuani engage and she could disrupt it really well. But we do see the Janna opted out for Soraka. And I'm still wondering, what are they gonna go for their bot? Look at that Soraka, and what can go with that Soraka? And we do see Candy trying to go for something fishy here. He's rotating between Riven, and he finally picks up Renekton. And let's see how it goes. And we do see Saber going up for Yasuo. And it's still confusing. Saber is not known for his Yasuo, but we are still seeing he's rotating. And is he gonna pick his signature pick Irelia this time as well? We are watching it, and the time is ticking on the pick, and I think he is gonna pick Cassiopeia this time, which is also one of his signature pick, and he always goes for the late game, and it's really good. I mean, his Cassiopeia is good. He does have a lot of kill pressure, but he does struggle against early laning. But he might have got something up their sleeve. They have some sort of plan going on. And on this other side, we are waiting for the ADC pick, and it is decided that they're trying to go safe here, super safe, since we do have Sejuani, who is like a high threat jungler early. I mean, Chandel does pose a little bit of threat, but Sejuani is high threat jungler. She can she can just jump into the lane, and it'll cause chaotic. So they're trying to play safe in the bot lane. They have Caitlyn as their ADC pick, and they are finally locked in. So looking at the team comps, we do see on the side of nA, they are trying to go for that late game. They do have two scaling champions. They do have Vayne. They do have Ethiopia. On the other side, we have Cyan and Trundle and Swain. They're going for that team fight where you can lock in, and it would give Caitlyn a really good frontline as well. It's hard to reach Caitlyn with all that frontline. And on the other side of FaZe, they do not have that frontline, but they do have somewhat of an average team fighting potential. On this other side of iBots, they have a really well drafted team composition. So let's just hope how this goes. If iBots plays their team game really well, this could be a win for them, because they have drafted really well with that Soraka silence. It could just disrupt Cassiopeia. Cassiopeia does struggle against CC, so she can get locked down in here. But we do have on the other side, we have Sejuani and Cassiopeia, which does set up for a good flanks. You can get a good dive on bot lane where you can struck off people. You can build up a slow push, and you can catch them off guard. It's really good for those small scrim, that small pickups. You can just go bot lane, and you can just get those picks from. But in team fights, I believe on the side of iBots, they do have a good advantage, but depends on how they survive during their early phases. They should look for making more team fights happen. On the side of nA.Phase, they should look up for more 3v3 fights. That's what they try. And once they get to late game, it doesn't really matter. nA.Phase as a really scary late game. But on the other side, we do have Caitlyn, so it's not a total loss. If Caitlyn does get ahead, it would be really chaotic in there. So let's just hope best of luck for both teams, because let's see, both of them have drafted it on having some part of the game plan in their minds. So let's just hope. And we are now in the spectator delay phase, and we have 1 minute and 20 seconds left. So thinking about that, so what I think about, let's go about like each and every lane. So first off, we have the top lane matchup. We have Sion versus Renekton, which is, the battle of the tanks versus tanks and tanks versus bruiser. It's gonna be pretty dull. It depends on how the lane is played. So this basically depends on how the junglers and the top laners coordinate. Other than that, this lane is gonna be pretty dull. But if Renekton does play it, really good, he might be able to grab a kill or two. With Sion, I think it won't be happening that much, but it depends on how they play their lanes and how they manage their wave and where they keep it and how the junglers' roles will go in. On the jungle side, we have Sejuani and Trundle. So in early game, Trundle does have an advantage, but he does struggle when it's sort of a long fight. So Sejuani has a reliable CC, but Trundle do not have it. So, but Trundle does have a slight advantage over Sejuani. But let's see how it goes. It depends on how Trundle's parting is gonna be, how nA.Phase is gonna play it. And on the mid lane, we do have Swain versus Cassiopeia, which is again it's gonna be a complicated matchup, but it depends on how Cassiopeia plays it, and if Cassiopeia pokes Swain well and keep him out of the lane and harass him for farming and keep him away from the farm, keeping gold deficient, and that would be really good for Cassiopeia, which would help Cassiopeia to scale faster, and which would also deny what iBots' team fight potential. So, but on the side of Swain, if he does to manage to farm up and get his snares on the Cassiopeia, it would be really guaranteed kills, because Cassiopeia has not gone cleanse this game, so it is sort of a really risky play for Cassiopeia, because she does not have cleanse. So if Swain lands a good route, it could be devastating for Cassiopeia. Combined with Trundle, he might be able to grab early kills, because he is running electrocute and he does have those early pressures. So it depends on how the mid laners play their lane. And on the bot side, we have Nami versus Vayne, and we have Soraka versus Caitlyn. So on the side of Phase, we have Nami versus Vayne. They do specialize on their all-in sheet, and also Kratos, who is the ADC of Phase, is running press the attack, which will be good for those three auto trades, and they will be going for the 3 auto trades. And Nami is very powerful with with her early on hit damage. She does provide a lot of damage. On the other hand, we have Soraka, Caitlyn. They do come with a lot of poke, so in this case they should look for poke from afar and play the game as much safe as they possible, because dropping a kill for Vayne, or dropping a kill for Vayne in general is gonna get hurt towards the late game, and which will be very hard for their entire teammate, because if Vayne gets ahead, it is GG. So it depends on how much Elmo and Seeker poke Vayne, and how they keep it off. And we have also we have Mojo, who is known as one of the best supports in Sri Lanka. So it might be really problematic situation, because in any case, if Mojo lands a bubble and if Sejuani comes in and if they all in, it might be early kill for Vayne, and once Vayne starts snowballing, it might be a really hard choice. So I wish and I hope that Seeker and Elmo, the bot lane of iBots, are planning to play the lane safe and freeze it around the sweet spot of their turret, and then play safe and get more ahead, rather than giving Vayne and go for the items and trying to make a play with their jungler, or a TP bot by Sion, and get those plays in, get ahead, and rather keeping Vayne really far behind. That's the game plan they should have. And we are almost across the loading screen, and we are almost approaching the game. And so let us hope what's going to happen, and fingers crossed, let's hope for a really good exciting match to go on, and let's hope for what is best. And also one more thing to add, I just noticed that we do see Trundle with Conqueror, which is, you know, which is sort of new. I haven't come across that. Maybe they have a different game plan, you know, something unique. So who are we to judge, you know? There's a lot of potential of what goes around, and we are now in the game screen. So we do have a slight pause there, you know, technical difficulties. It's really hard. Connections have their instability, and it's also something to keep in mind. You know, connections. You might have unstable connections, so find a stable connection. That helps a lot with League. League does depend a lot on your ping, and you know, that stable connection more than anything else. And we are waiting for the game to still start. So a quick question would be like, where do we hope to the, you know, where the laners would start? We are, you know, so first of all, I believe Sejuani should, you know, start red, you know, to get that, you know, that early advantage. You know, look for those level 2s, because Trundle would be going for that. You know, he would be farming around to get those, you know, get as fast as possible to, you know, he's also a strong level 2 ganker, so it depends on how these teams are gonna play. I think Trundle might go for blue-red Scuttle plan, and Sejuani might go for red and Scuttle. Then, you know, it depends how these junglers are gonna play their match up. So we do see all their bot lane approaching the red side. As I predicted, Sejuani is gonna start red, but do we see an invade? We do see Caitlyn and Trundle all piled up. They are waiting for that, and Caitlyn grabs that sneaky headshot, and good trap placed by Elmo, and he does place the other trap. But I do have a question. He is starting trap, which is gonna affect his laning phase, but you know, it is not gonna affect as that much, because you know, because he's not gonna go as aggressive. So he has instead opted out to, you know, traps as his early start, and traps are a good start in a sense of where you can ward off enemy jungle, but in laning phase it is gonna cost him, because you know, Vayne and Nami can go for those, you know, 1 auto trades or 2-3 auto trades. They might want to, you know, sneaky grab you, and you might not have any abilities to retaliate, and you also lose one of Caitlyn's pushing tools, which is our Q for Veil Clear, and it would be really bad. So let's see how that goes. But they do want to play it safe, because they are, you know, cautious of that. They do have a strong invade, strong early with, you know, their bot side and their jungler combined, so they are leashing their bot side here, and a good leash by both the sides. Both the sides are coming bot, and now we switch the attention towards the top lane. And you know, top lane is going as usual, the battle of the tanks. They are doing their own thing. And on the mid lane, we do see Cassiopeia try to poke Swain, deny him the farm, you know, do those things what, you know, Cassiopeia thinks. You just have to deny the laner from farm. And you know, as usual, Mojo is landing his pokes on the bot side. He's landing good poke, and you know, denying Caitlyn from, you know, trying to deny Caitlyn from the farm. But you know, it's sort of useless in a sense, because Caitlyn does have the range advantage, and he does have Soraka with him. So, but we do see Caitlyn land, and they do get the level 2 advantage. We think it's gonna be a kill, but Kratos barely misses that. Oh, but he gets the kill. First blood from Team nA.Phase. They get the kill, and Vayne gets the kill. See, the mistake here made was they did let the bot lane get the first level 2, and that was really bad. But it seemed like Kratos missed the, you know, it sort of seemed like he did miss the stun on the wall, but he just rarely just escaped off. But then he goes in for the flasher. A great play by him. So, you know, maybe they can play. They still have hope. They can play it better. You know, one kill is not the end of the game, but they have to play it very safe. They can't afford to make mistakes like that because their lane has a lot depending on for the entire team, because the bot lane has to bring about all the damage in the game, because that is how this game is drafted, and they have to get the. And in top lane we do see some action, we do see the ganks going on, but we barely missed it. So both, you know, Hava and Candy try to go for a good gang, but it barely misses. And but you know, nothing special there. You know, battle of the tanks, they just farm, and you know, they're trying to go for their items. They're normally farming and switching our attention back to mid lane. As I said, you know, as Saber has achieved his goal by poking up, you know, poking Khazar Boom on his Swain, and you know, keeping him unhealthy. But that's good. But the one thing I'm worried about is that he does miss this thing. He's trying to go for the engage, but Hava tries to go for the engage, but it just barely misses. So the one thing I'm concerned about here is that Saber is running out of mana, but now it's okay because Khazar has also run out of mana. So it's a really hard lane, but because they are both spamming their spells, but Cassiopeia seems fairly healthy, and this could be a disadvantage situation for Khazar. But I hope he has a better plan. Maybe he could, you know, shove the wave in, do something, you know. But it seems like he cannot do that as well, because there is a slow push building towards Swain, and it's going to be really hectic. So let's see what is going to be next. And we also see a deep ward placed by Cyan in the top side to, you know, track their jungler. And we just see a small fight break out in the top lane, and that was a good trade for Ulkam to Takuna. Good trade from Takuna. He did a good Q on Candy. Let's hope this top lane goes well, but it does seem slightly in favor of Takuna because he has landed considerable amount of her. As when your attention towards bot side, we do see a sneaky gank coming from Hava. It might be a good gank, but we do see the red side warded, and they are not backing off. A good bubble comes from Mojo, and they are in. Again, I think it's going to be the end, and again, Elmo gets slammed into the wall, and I think it'll be a kill picked up by Kratos once again, but Kratos kills the kill of a jungle, and Kratos goes in, and Kratos stumbles in for the kill, and gets another kill from the bot lane. And this is looking bad for the side of iBots, because they are letting the Vayne get the kills, and it's not really good. It's really looking bad on the side of this. So I hope, you know, they do, you know, come up with a plan. Maybe their junglers should, you know, put more focus on the bot side. But you know, since bot side it's really hard. It's going to be really hard now, because Vayne is going to come with that Cutlass or Vampiric Scepter, depending on what her build is. And she's also building a slow push towards the wave, and which is going to be really hard for the side of iBots. They have to play smart. They have to make plays with their jungler, and so it's going to be really hard unless they make their plays. And you know, they have to somehow get Caitlyn back into the game, because on late game it depends a lot on Caitlyn to do that heavy damaging, because all their team is made out of heavy sustain and heavy tanks. And so it has to be their bot lane carrying something, or it has to be Swain. But it has to be their Swain, but Swain looks like he has a deficit of farm. And you see on both the sides that Cassiopeia has grabbed her tier, and so she is not going to have any mana problems. But Swain on the other side, he has to be very careful, because he hasn't completed his mana chapter, and it's going to be really hard for him unless he completes his, you know, chapter. It's going to be really hard, and he is going to be constantly getting pushed in, because you know, she has the mana advantage. She has a tier. You know, a Cassiopeia with tier is really scary and really not funny. And we do see Swain, you know, positioning in the pixel bush. On the top side, we are sort of seeing a gank setting up for Saber, and Saber tries to get ganks, and Saber gets snared, and Saber picks up the kill on the jungler of iBots. It was a really miss execution, because you know, the jungler of iBots shouldn't have gone for that play, because there was a huge wave, you know, push towards the side of iBots, and you know, it's really unfortunate. And we just on the bot side, we just see an action. Vayne goes in, and Vayne peels it for the jungler, and Hava picks up another kill, and it's more kills and more assists for Vayne, and the bot side is snowballing. This looks very bad. You know, they have to, they have to do something about the bot lane, a TP or something from Swain, because this is looking really bad, because Vayne does have her cutlass and her boots and her dagger as well. This is going to be really bad, and we do see them grabbing their first jungle, infernal jungle. It's going to set them so far behind. And 8 minutes, we are looking at a 3,000 gold deficit, and this looks really, really uncomfortable for the side of iBots. The only hope would be the top side, but that is looking cushionful as well. In the top side, we do see Candy Panda going in for that heavy trade. He does chunk Takuna to half, 3/4 of his health. It looks really bad, but I feel like the jungler of iBots is underperforming. He should up his game, but we do see another dive coming in from the side of FaZe. There is a flash blown by Trundle, and there comes the ult from Nami, and I believe Trundle just barely escapes for his life. It's gonna be a really close call. But let's see, on the top side, we do see Candy Panda trying to go in, but Swain gets that really timely ult and barely survives. And I think that's going to be TP down by, Swain Cyan. But he has to TP back to get those farm back. And we do see a collapse on Swain. Swain goes in and Swain pops his ult. And it's a really, really good ult. I think he's going to get the kill. Is he going to get the kill? And there he grabs a perfect double kill. That was really well played by Swain. He goes in with his ultimate and gets that really good demon extension proc, and that was really well played. And I think there's still hope for that. He does grab that 2v1 double kill. So let's see how it is going. I think the top bot side is getting heavily poked. Maybe if the bot side manages to play safe for a bit, because a 2-0 Vayne is not the end of the world, but still should be really feared, because she does have her cutlass. And it's devastating with her ult up, and if you use your cutlass active, it's gonna be a sure kill. So you have to be very, very, very careful in this lane. If they are careful, and if Swain gets ahead, it would be really good. We just see a gang coming from the side of iBots, and there comes a good pillar and goes in, and Vayne tries to block it. I believe this is gonna be the shutdown for Vayne. And Vayne kites away, and I think they have, misstepped the gank. And there goes the flash, and it looks really bad. And they have once again made a mistake, and the kill will go to Kratos. And he is snowballing more than ever. That'll be a 3-kill win. I believe the Vayne will get another kill as well here. The ult goes in from Nami. The tidal wave goes in and knocks up Caitlyn and gets another kill. And I think this will be the end of the bot lane, because they are looking at a 4-0 Vayne, which will complete, who is gonna complete her Ruin King now, and I think it's gonna be over for bot lane. But I want to hope that the team does have. I want to say that team has hope, but a 4-0 Vayne, I have to be truthful. It's gonna be devastating, and we do see another collapse coming in mid lane, and Swain gets collapsed on. Swain is getting chunked on, and then ult lands onto Swain, and there Hava picks up another kill. And Hava is looking strong. He does 3 kills for Sejuani jungle, and the bounty goes to Hava. And this looks bad, but it might have been a good trade. But the problem is that in the side of iBots, the jungler is really lacking behind. He is lacking behind on his farms. He is still level 5, while Hava, the FaZe team jungler is level 7. This is gonna be really hard, because as a jungler advantage, a level 5 Trundle, which is really very weak early on. He can't contest with Sejuani. Sejuani can just ult in and sweep him, but now Trundle is level 6, so we might accept something good. And we do see the turret platings going down, top and mid. The turret platings are dropping down. They are getting that gold advantage on every single lane, and this is very chaotic for the side of Maximum iBots, because nA.Phase has 6,000 gold leads as of now. This is very, very hard to take in. But let's hope so. They can come back. Swain is looking strong. He can come back, and they go for that kill. And there you go, the tidal wave comes in and Vayne procs her ult and another kill goes in. I think they're gonna dive, Kratos dives in and Kratos barely misses and the TP comes in and Trundle goes for the gank and there is a Sion and Sion goes on his unstoppable onslaught and the kill gets grabbed from the wind and they get Vayne and Vayne is dead and they grab that kill. I think it's gonna be first start for them because 4-man collapse on the bottom side. They are trying to defend it. Sejuani has her glacial prison soon coming and I think that's a kill gonna be grabbed from the Nami. As they said, they have that strong team fight presence and they might, you know, grab it. And you know, but it looks like the first start might be top side. It looks like another collapse is coming on, but it is too late on the side of FaZe because they didn't respond or, you know, respect their front line well, and that is a good kill picked up and that is a really big bounty on them as well. But sadly, we do see Candy, you know, he is known for his slow pushing, you know, his split pushing potential. He is going to get the first blood third and that's going to be a 400 goal. But he does miss the first blood third, you know. He just barely walks away from the third gold. But, you know, maybe he does not want the gold advantage, you know. But he is, you know, playing Singed on, he's playing Singed on Renekton and he's waiting for the enemy jungle in the jungle, but you know, that was fishy. He was waiting for something and he's recalling and the bot side drops another kill. We do see another kill taken by Kratos and I think if the bot side missteps like this, it might be the end of the game because, you know, feeding a Vayne is not going to be good. You know, they should be, you know, really conscious because I believe they can still come back. You know, they had a 6,000 lead and they just had one team fight and they just brought it back to 5,000 lead, so they should be, you know, really cautious. You know, it shouldn't be always careless. They shouldn't be careless like this. You know, they should respect their enemy. They should respect, you know, how the enemies go around, and this is going to be really hard. And we see a collapse from Candy Panda. He tries to go in on the Trundle, and Trundle puts his ult, and Candy is looking feisty. He is not taking damage. He uses his ult, and I think it's going to be another dive by Kratos, and you know, it's looking risky. Who knows what's in? This is looking very, very confusing and sad on the part of iBots because they have to, you know, get some sort of play. But you know, Abe, the Trundle of, you know, iBots is constantly getting denied of his farm, and he is facing such a hard time. And Hava is just, you know, snowballing his lead, denying him of his farm. You know, he's just making life really hard for Trundle because he just wants him to be delayed as possible, and it is working in sort of, because in this case Sejuani does have the clear advantage of here, and they do have the first blood turret, so since they can't pressure any more objective, the Infernal is down, and they do have 2 Infernals picked up on the side of Fate, but they do have very strong, and the flash pops off from Abe and he goes out, and then we do see him getting collapsed, but you know, they do not pursue the kill, but they just, you know, let the Trundle escape. The Trundle tries to go mid and escape. This is looking very bad, but it's sort of confusing why the FaZe bot lane is wandering around the mid lane. And bot lane river, and we do have a short pause here. So let's wait till the game resumes. So in my case, while the game is paused, so I think, you know, they should, you know, somehow look to make plays. It is not lost, you know, every single game has, you know, ways to get back into. I believe, you know, they can still do it. You know, they shouldn't give up because, as they said, they had good team fights. Even they fooled the best of the best teams. You know, they had that good team fight. They captured that bot lane. You know, I think that's what Trundle should have done. You should have, you know, focused it early game around bot side so that, you know, Vayne doesn't get ahead. But in case of Sejuani, she did exactly what she was supposed to do. She, you know, camped that bot lane, you know, got Vayne ahead. It was really good. You know, it's well played on the side of FaZe. You know, they are one of the best teams in Sri Lanka, and they are showing off. You know, they are style of play. You know, they should be very careful, you know, how they played. And I was also warned. I think I also predicted that they should be very careful of this, you know, that level 2 spike of Vayne. You know, they do have a great all-in potential. You know, right, when you look at like Caitlyn versus Soraka and Vayne versus Nami, Caitlyn and Soraka do, lack the all-in potential, because Vayne and Nami on level 2 are really strong. Then Caitlyn Soraka is level 2. So this look, they should have been more cautious of that. And one thing led to another, and Vayne is snowballing. She does have the bot blades of Wind King, and she does have Berserkers, and you know, it's a tough scenario. But you can come back from anything as long as you have the correct game plan. So let's hope this is going good on the side of both teams. Good luck for I wish best for both teams, but I want the underdogs to shine. Maybe give a little bit of fight. Make the match spicy. Rather than going all out. So let's hope they have a better plan. And it seems like their mid laner is lagging or some sort of. So we will have a break till the game resumes. So we are waiting for their game to be unpaused. So apparently their connection issues, you have them all around in here. So till then we'll take a short break. And welcome back, guys. We are unpausing. Sorry for the unfortunate delay because connection issues are a usual thing here, and we are back in here. Forgetting all that, we are back in here with the Clutch Gen, the Climb series, and we are here and we are looking at the team. FaZe is trying to get that Herald. They're trying to go for that sneaky Herald. They are getting it so far uncontested, and the Herald goes in, and let's see, there is a fight breaking out, and there goes Swain with the Ascension, demonic Ascension, and Swain tries to go for it, and if he lands it, but Swain dies in before he could put out the damage. And on the bot lane we do see another kill being dropped up, and Vayne is just 1v9ing there. She is just getting kill after kill, and this looks like it is over for the side of iBots. I still hope, I barely hope that there is little hope left. Maybe they can. I don't know what's gonna happen, because it takes a miracle to come out at this point, because they're looking at a 6,000 goal lead, and Candy Panda gets the Herald and he deploys the Herald in top lane, and he is getting that turret and he's playing Singed on the top lane, and there is no one who can fight Candy Panda at this moment of the time, because everyone is afraid of him, because due to his goal lead he just can split all day long, and they are splitting all day long. They have all their lanes on top max, all their lanes are fed. They're just gonna be split pushing the whole lane, and they have opened up the map on the bot side and the top side, so all that is left is a mid side, and they do have a lot of control in the jungle. If you see their jungle, they have deep vision on their red buff, and it's really on the red buff and the blue buff, and it's really bad for the side of iBots because they do not have enough vision control. This will be really bad in a sense, because if they do not have vision control, they can't make plays. And on the side of iBots, they are not investing enough for wards. I do not see them dropping more wards. It's sort of sad to see that they needed more vision. They have to get down more vision because they are in a really deficit part, but they do have their bot side covered. So they are the side of FaZe is just denying that vision. I think it's all about the vision game. They are denying that vision. They are taking out the vision. As usual, Mojo is one of the best support. He just constantly denies the he constantly denies vision at all. And in mid lane you do see Vayne does try to get a sneaky little trade on this thing, and Vayne goes in too much, but Vayne tries to go all in, but Vayne does get locked in there. Vayne is kiting really well, and Vayne gets the kill on Cyan, and everyone is trying to go in, but Vayne kites really well and goes back, and there is a collapse from nA.Phase, and they get a really good collapse, and that is going to be an ace, but Caitlyn barely escapes. But it seems like Kratos is going in for the kill, and Petros grabs that triple from the game, and this looks like it is the end for the game, and FaZe might close the game here. Let us see. It is an early ace, but it is too early to say anything, but I do believe it's sort of over for the side of iBots, because the Vayne is too far ahead, and it takes a miracle. I believe they might go for all ending, but they might play it safe here. They are I mean, they're not getting too greedy. They are backing off in a sort of way, but they could have ended. They could have forced another fight, because there is no way that the side of iBots is gonna retaliate, because they can go for an all in, but they do go for a recall. They are trying to play it safe, go for that Baron and win something. They're trying to do something different. I believe their next plan would be going for the Baron, and in this case I believe the team of iBots, they should get vision on the Baron, get sneaky visions, ward the blue side of FaZe, don't put the vision on the the usual spots, because Mojo is going to deny it. So you got to get creative. The top teams in Sri Lanka is going to be there. It's usual, any team in Sri Lanka is going to red ward the thing. They're going to hit the plant, so you got to be creative on how you're going to place the ward. Now it's going to be a waste, because all the wards are going to be dropped, and they are doing the Baron, and I don't believe there's anything you can do, because a good ward would have helped. So that's what I said. A tip for all the people who are want to play esports seriously in Sri Lanka, you should place wards in sneaky positions. There are many guides on YouTube to get good ward positioning, because wards matter a lot, because any support is gonna use his red trinket and gonna sweep Baron and Dragon Pits, but there are those sneaky spots that they give you vision, and you don't expect supports to red trinket there. So Baron goes to the side of nA.Phase, and as I predicted, this is the end game. It is the expected end game. You can't run from it. The team is fed. They do have a hyper carry Vayne with 11 kills and a Rage Blade completed. The Baron is gonna melt away. Every second auto attack is gonna hurt like really bad, and they're gonna get the top tower as well. They're opening up the map. Candy is trying to open up the bot side. This is gonna be the end. The mid side is pushing in. The top side, bot side is pushing in. The top side is pushing in. Everyone is pushing in, and Kratos goes the hyper carry moment. He wants to 1v5. He's trying to go for the penta. He gets the double kill. He's waiting for the triple, and he just gets the triple. I believe he's gonna get the quadra. Is that a quadra coming in? The quadra comes in, and he dies, sadly. Mad boom by Seeker. He just goes back, but well played, Kratos. He gets that quadra, and happy moment for him. But it's sad that he didn't get his penta, but well played, both sides, well played. Even though iBots, you guys are a team who were formed like 3 months before, but I commend you for your amount of play. You did stand well. You guys did have a good mid game, but next time you guys can try to but that was a failed die by Hawa, but really funny. And the Nexus goes off, and it is a win by nA.Phase. And finally, it's time to end the game. And well played both the team once again. Clear. Well played, Sergi, and you do see why FaZe is the best team, and why they are one of the best team. They pulled off all their plays well. As I said, they wanted those 3v3 skirmishes, 3v2, 3v1 skirmishes, and that's what they did. They picked those 3v1, 3v3 skirmishes. They got those small picks, and they got their lanes individually ahead. They did that, and they skyrocketed. On the other side, we did have iBots, and they could have had those team fight moments. They did have those small team fight moments, but it was too late when they were trying to realize that they were they were strong in their team fights. But by this time, Vayne was already on hyper carry mode, and the fate isn't coming. If you have a hyper carry Vayne and a proper if you have even one tank, it's enough, because Vayne can tumble enough. And Vayne is one of the strongest ADCs in Season 9 at late game, and as you all know, there is no ADC which can match Vayne. And as I said, hypercarry Vayne is formed, and there is nothing much you can do. But well played for the team of iBots. I wish you guys would have taken played to your advantages. Use your draft. That would have been really good. But sadly, it has to come to an end. And once again, well played to both of the team, and I'll see you guys on the next stream, and stay tuned for the next match of the Climb Series semifinals. We do have one more semifinal match, and stay tuned for that, and catch you guys later.